Energy made this one.
Who am I? The prince of the mid. It's some dog food on that silverware. Rinse off the dish. Me and you, two different guys. You out here simping about the bitch. Drum house.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I just want to say thank you so much for the support to the 3 people that commented, especially the one guy who commented twice. I just want to say thank you for your support, man. Big shout out to you. He only has a couple videos on his channel, but go ahead and go sub to that guy because he's W. But let's go ahead and hop straight into this. So today's story time takes place in my 8th grade year. I was a significantly, you could say, troublemaker. Now, I wasn't a bully. I wasn't necessarily inappropriate or aggressive at all. I've always been a nice person, but I was definitely just like to the point where I was starting to get a little fed up with everything, and I was just starting to be a little troublemaker because that's how I would lash out on the people and the teachers in that school. Was I just gave them a hard time. Now, obviously, don't go that way about it. If you're really just having so much trouble to the point where you can't even do your schoolwork, you should, 1, transfer schools, or 2, just move to online schooling like I did. Truly dropping out is never the answer because you can't get like over half of the jobs in America without a diploma or even a GED. At this point in my life, I was dating this one female, and her name was Yeti. We'll call her Yeti, and this is the same female from the very first story time when they were Sarah, Olive, and Yeti. And I was dating her, and this was my second go-round. We dated twice, once for 5 months, second time for like 3, close to 3 months. This go-round, I was like getting like pretty close with her and getting attached, as you do in relationships. I was chilling over at her house one day. It was just a normal day, and I had pulled up to her house because we had nothing better to do but just hang out, watch something, go walk around, skate around. And this day in specific, we decided to just chill in the room, watch something, scroll on TikTok, talk to each other. And it was closer to like nightfall at this point, the day before Monday, so it was a weekend. So out of nowhere, this random kid, let's call him Seth, and he's from my school, and we were friends at the time, not like best friends, not even like, more like acquaintances than friends. Like, we would talk and we were friendly, but like we wouldn't like actually like go out of our way to talk to each other. It was really only when we were like with mutual friends. Basically, we were just chill guy. Actually, one time I went to these NRHA races. What if you don't know what that is they're like drag racing cars, and they're like on these tar tracks, and they go up to like 500 to 600 miles per hour. I've seen one go up to 800. For the past 2 years we've been going, and I've ran into him the past 2 years we have gone, and we talked. His sister's chill, his dad's chill, his mom's chill, his whole family's chill, or so I thought. Now back to the present time in the story. I'm at my girl's house, and she starts getting texted from Seth. And Seth is just like, hey, you should break up with Jason. He's a bad kid. He smokes, he vapes. And I do admit, I smoked and I vaped. I mean, but so did she. At that time, she was too. And I guess he just didn't know that. But he also said he's a bitch too, like dead ass. Like, I don't even know how you stand him. And that's when I'm just like, all right, yep, let me see your phone. And I'll start texting him, acting like her, and I'm like, yeah, I'll break up with Jason. Why? You want to get with me? Like, do you like me? And immediately he's like, yeah, like, no hesitation, I'd get with you. And the next thing he says, like, out of nowhere, like, just random as hell, like, was never expecting this. He was like, oh yeah, also, like, don't take this as, like, something to be scared of, but I would so R-word you. And that's when I'm like, yeah, man, you're done for. Like, it's been Jason the whole time, and the next time I see you, it is on site, and you're getting your face pounded into the pavement. And he was like, all right, bet, I like to see you try. I'm ready for that shit. And first step I should have taken with this, other than not threatening to beat his ass, would be to take screenshots and take it immediately to the cops, but I didn't do that. I had the mindset of, I'm going to handle this myself because I can give him a way better punishment than the cops could. I'm not going to throw him in jail, but I'm going to beat his ass beyond the point of him getting up. And after this whole ordeal, and Yeti's like, please, please do not fight him. And I'm like, I won't, fine, I won't, I promise. And I was capping my ass off right there. Like, as soon as I came into school the next day, my mom drops me off, and I'm just like pumping myself up the whole morning. Got my earbuds in. I'm listening to Babytron. I'm listening to La Tyler. I'm listening to absolutely anything to get my adrenaline rushing and ready for this fight, because I'm ready to like just walk in and start beating ass. So I get to school the next morning, and my mom drops me off right by the front doors, and I walk through and I walk to the gym to go sit in the section where all the athletics kids go, because we had athletics very first period as the bell rung, and we were already in the gym on the bleachers. So I walk through the front doors, I walk down the hall, and I take a left turn right at the library, and I walk down another hall, then I like past the restrooms, and then I take a right at the water fountains, and take another left through the very first door to the gym. And I'm walking all the way down the row, and I'm scanning for him, and as soon as I see him, I walk up on the bleachers, and he hops up and he squares up first, and he gets in my face. I'm like, hey, get out my face, and he's not out my face, so I push him off of me. Now, the only thing that was bad about that is technically I threw the first punch, but it's because he was up in my face, up in my shit. So I push him off of me, then he comes back and he pushes me, and I swing on him as he pushes me, and I hit him right in the side of the head, and he immediately goes down, and I kick him once, and then he hops back up, and he like grabs my legs, and I fall on the bleachers, and I hop back up immediately. And before I could do anything else, one of the coaches, and he's like in his like 30, like mid 30s, and he's pretty athletic, so he got us like separated pretty quick, because it was like three coaches that came and separated us. And I was immediately taken to the office, and everyone's just staring at me, and I'm just like, my adrenaline's rushing, like too much adrenaline at this point, and I'm just like fucking shaking like uncontrollably. And I get to the front office, and I'm just sitting out there. I'm sitting down in the front office waiting for the principal to come grab me, and it's always the vice principal who came to talk to me for some reason. And I got this guy's blood all over my shirt, because I guess when I hit him in the side of the head, he like his bone like broke his skin, and I got blood on my knuckles. I got blood on my shirt, because when he went to slam me, the side of the head that I punched him on was up against my shirt, and that got blood on me, and that just made it look so much worse. So the vice principal finally comes out into the main office and pulls me into the back, like not literally, but like metaphorically takes me into the back, and we sit down and talk, and there's a cop already in that bitch. Counselor was up in that hole too. She was to my left, cop was to my right, and immediately they started interrogating me. And I left the part out where he said he was gonna R-word my girl at the time, because like I already felt like I got my get back on him, and you know, he was pretty bloody. He didn't do athletics that day or for the rest of the week, if I'm not mistaken. But I started answering so many questions, and they're like, all right, what happened? Why did this happen? And what are the morals behind it? What I told them was basically the whole story time I've told you all so far. I was just chilling with my girl. He hit her up. He was trying to get her to break up with me, and I just wasn't standing for it. And then he said some very hurtful words. I'm not going to get into specifics, because he don't got to get in trouble now that I beat his ass. And they gave me a whole speech about like, if they don't provide for you, if they don't do anything for you in your life, then their words shouldn't hurt you, their words shouldn't affect you. And truthfully, that's solid advice. I'm not even gonna lie. And what happened after that is, since I wouldn't tell them I wouldn't budge, they couldn't do anything about getting him in trouble, even though they wanted to. And that's when the officer, he leaves the room after taking his notes. He either goes to his office or he drives down to the ISD building. And what he does is he like puts all of his notes in a computer, writes some sort of form, and sends it off to the police station or just some other building somewhere else for the detectives. And that's when they start an investigation. And Yeti and Seth, they had both like deleted most of the conversation. And I don't know why she did that, but I mean, we ended up breaking up like 2 days after this. And as I'm in the principal's office and the cop shuts the door behind me, my vice principal at the time, she was like, so here's what we're going to do for your punishment. You promised me you wouldn't fight again, and last time for fighting, you got thrown into alternative school for 30 days or for 60 days. So this time, we're throwing you in for 120. And that's when I'm just like, yeah, I'm cooked. I'm going to be in here for the rest of this school year and going into my freshman year. And that's when I actually started to regret kind of beating his ass. But I mean, what's done is done. And I'm not going to lie, I felt good about myself for like the next 2 weeks. The DAP was worth it for the first 2 weeks. I mean, I damn near basically punched a hole in his head with my fist. So yeah, I was like, I definitely got my get back, and he got what was coming to him for being a little creepy boy. Moral of this story is don't just immediately make your alternative fighting. Always have a better plan A. But I really do appreciate every single one of y'all for the support you've been giving to me in these past couple of videos, and I'm going to stay consistent and drop more bangers every day. I love each and every single one of you. Peace.